Hello and welcome back to Caught Above the Cut. So I am on the Kennet Avon Canal, which is just behind me, and I'm standing on what was the start of the Wilts and Berks. Now I've been here before. I made a video just when I first started out, and it was covering both the junctions, this end and Semington end. But I want to cover what's going to happen and kind of what is existing. So this video is all about the old route and a little bit about the what's called the Melksham link, which is kind of just over there. So as you can see here, you can see this sort of looks like a winding hole, but this was originally the entrance to the Wilts and Berks, and there's quite a nice picture of a boat and stuff on there, and what was sort of the size of the bridge that came across here. So this route can't be used anymore for various reasons. We'll go into that as we explore in this video. So the new entrance is going to be just on the other side of this bridge, such a short walk down from here. It goes across the fields then out towards the village of Berryfield and has to go around the town of Melksham and kind of drop into the river. There's, like I said, there's various reasons for that, which we'll pick up along the route, but it is impossible to sort of reroute through the centre of Melksham. There's also issues coming along with various other parts of the reroute with the EA and stuff. They're worried about water levels, and there's a chance that they might be getting rid of the radial weir in the town, which doesn't help with water levels either. But the trust are looking at it to see if there's anything they can do about that and see how they can get through. So this is where the new route's going to cut in, just off of here, and come across an angle here, and then kind of straight up and go in that direction there. Plans for possibly a marina here as well, which I think would be a good idea, and then obviously off towards the River Avon, which is a long way over there. So we've just come across this bridge here. This is the old Semington road, and then you've got Bridge House immediately in front of us here. So this is the first obstacle. This is now privately owned. This was part of the canal back in the day. It was a toll house originally, but if you look behind it, there's lots of sort of newer build stuff going on, which is going to block the route. That bridge there, this used to be the main road. I grew up in a village near Chippenham. My auntie used to live over in Trowbridge, and we used to drive up this way quite a lot, and used to always get lorries stuck on it. So they built a new bypass. This is now a closed road, and as you can see, very quiet. So just I think it was in the front garden of Bridge House there was also a lock. It may have been a bit further across, kind of where this whiter building is. The canal line, I believe, ran just kind of in the yard bit of it, rather than that being built on it. But there was a lock there, which then ran into a spring bridge, which I think was probably just up here to take this lane across. So you've got a farmhouse and sort of like a cottage and stuff up there. So I think this was the old site of the swing bridge. I can't go over there because it's private land, but the canal, I walk up to the sort of edge here. The canal kind of ran up through, you can just see the trees there. So the route was literally just in front of us now. The new line then runs across there and over the fields, kind of behind that farm and stuff, which you can just see over in the distance. So they're taking the route which has the least sort of in the way, really. And a couple of places along this line there are little sort of cuts where, I don't know, maybe kids have gone through. So I will just sort of step up into the bed. I think the towpath was on this side, and then there's a canal bed there. So we're in the canal now. It's quite overgrown, as you can see. This will never be restored. This will never be a canal again, unfortunately. It's just too difficult. This is one thing you'll notice. I keep going on about how it's never going to happen, but this does appear to be quite clear down here. You know, it's not a massive amount of work just to dig this out. But unfortunately, as these things always are, it's never that simple. So just here we've got one of the first kind of what I would call major obstacles, and then it kind of keeps on going from there. So this is the line of the canal here. You can see this tree line here where we've just been in, and then you've got a bit of a sort of junction up here. I think this was another old bridge once upon a time. But just behind there, you may be able to hear, I think there's some sort of fun day going on, is Wiltshire Ambulance. Whilst there's no building on the line of the canal, you can't really have humpback bridges anymore. As I sort of said earlier on, things get caught on them. It's very difficult to manoeuvre, and what you don't want is a humpback bridge coming out of a major facility for air ambulance. They have the sort of fast response units and that coming out of there as well. So the line can't really be built there without dropping it down and bringing it back up, which becomes quite expensive. Then again into more line. But right here, is another obstacle. So you can see sort of an old house in the background over there. That was always there. But the canal kind of ran through the front of this property here, which is now, as you can see, it's all sort of commercial now. It's Alan Joy windows. I think this must be the main base. I'm not too sure. If you're local, you'd have heard their adverts, and I'm singing in my head as we're looking at it. I'll enjoy the window, man. This is quite a large police station here, replaced the main Chippenham station years ago, and a few others closed, and they sort of brought all the custody suites over to here and stuff. So if you've ever been naughty locally, you'd have probably been here. But the canal would have ran directly across, you can see from here, where the building's at an angle to the road, and it would have ran straight across towards G-Plan over there. So coming diagonally across from there, you'll probably see the white van, that would have been parked on the canal. I don't think they built on the actual line when they built the Wiltshire Police place here, but it's kind of, it's just in front, I believe. And then it would have angled across here, and then directly down through here, where this footpath is, you'll see the sort of clumps of trees in the background, and then the line's fairly easy to follow all the way to Melksham then. And this is the old line here. You can always tell because it's so overgrown. It grows well, so the clay will still be there. So the natural dip will be full of nutrient-rich soil, which would have been filled up with sort of trees, lots of leaves and all sorts, and reeds grow up and kind of grow in. So you can always see a healthy growth through old canal lines. It makes it easy on maps and stuff. So a little jump across, the police station's just over there behind us now, and to the left of us we've got some fields. So the canal is planning to run, I'll just throw you over the top here, the canal is planning to run across kind of the back of that field, but in this big field here is part of the local plan. Now this isn't the Wilts and Berks plans, there's two different sort of plans going around, but with the local plan this is going to be built, and this is houses going in here. Again, nothing to do with the Wilts and Berks canal, but there is potential for this field here to be a marina, or some of it at least. Now, the local plans come out, like most local plans, I'm assuming they're being done all over the country, not just in Wiltshire, and they've decided this is prime for building. It's quite a built up area around here with housing estates and industrial estates and stuff. So there is a lot of planned building going onto these fields. Now, like I said, Wilts and Berks have nothing to do with that, but part of them building it is they're going to put the canal in, or at least put money towards the canal. So the Wilts and Berks obviously are going to take full advantage of that. We then jump across a few fields, and kind of just over here behind these houses on the right hand side of the road, the canal line used to run, and the new line is going to run across here. So I'll just walk into this entrance here and show you. So you've got the housing estate there. This is Berryfield, the village of Berryfield. And when the canal was being planned, they basically planned to just run it across the back of those houses, out the way and around down towards the River Avon. But Berryfield residents said, no, we want it in the village. We want it to come through the village. So the plan is to come across here, and I believe sort of where those taller trees are there is going through there, and it comes down close to the road. So I think there will be kind of a winding hole, and there's a lock around here somewhere as well. So that field then leads on, the corner of that field comes behind these houses, behind the old calf. This used to be a really good calf years ago, it's not so much now, and come down through here somewhere, just I think on the other side of these trees here. That leads in to kind of like this is the old main road through here, and you'll see as we come out through this other side where you can start to see some green area where it's going to come through. Here we are across the street, there'll be a culvert there into this green area here. So down through the other side of these trees, down through there, across here. This road I believe is going to go, and then the canal is going to run through there and then turn back and start going across the fields again over in that direction there. Back on the other side there will be another winding hole, and then it will go back up, and then across the fields there they need to get access back to the village. So the plan is that there'll be, I think it's 2 new roads coming in and across, will cross the canal and come back into the back of the estate here. Again, depending on the plan you see, if you look at the local plan, there's a possibility just over there where we've just been, of being another small marina. So there's a potential of 3 marinas, 2 large marinas and a small marina, as well as plenty of spots for mooring as well, some of which are wider cut so you can angle the boats in rather than just being sort of along the side. There's some reason for that, because they're going to have to drop into the river, which we'll come to shortly. And when they do, they need to be able to have plenty of opportunity for people to moor up, because in the winter, if you're local, you know the river, it floods down there. So there's going to be times when the canal will be closed because of the fact they've got to go into the river. That's mainly because they can't go through the town. We'll see more of that as we go along in this video. One thing you'd probably then notice was the noise. So this is a new estate here. There's some more being built just across there. So we are on the other side of the road now. See through the gap there. That's where the canal's going to be over there. That's that road we've just been walking along. And now we're in a new estate on the side. And you can see here, there's another sign for the Wilts and Berks Canal, just stating where it was basically. But this here was the old canal line. So this would have been, I think this would have been the, canal would have been on this side running through. It would then run through across the fields here behind, the mobile home park, and then across the A350, which has been heavily developed since. And if you look at this now on this drone footage, you can see just how beyond this point here, you can start seeing it's just built up, and the line runs kind of directly through here. I'll stop off at a couple of points across just to show you where we were, or where we would have been, but there is no hope of getting through Melksham town centre. Every single inch of the canal has been built on. So just to reiterate a point, this is the old canal line. Would have come through there. That's the road just over kind of between the gap there, and would have carried on down through here. This isn't a case of if there was enough money in a pot we could do it. This is a case of it's never going to happen. So a new route is 100% needed. There's no question of restoring the Wilts and Berks Canal through Melksham at all. Now don't get me wrong, there are parts where you can see where the canal would have been. You can see the road rises up here. This would have been the old canal across under here. I don't think the bridge still exists. That would have been the wharf just over here, Melksham Wharf. There's just no hope there, look. Would have gone through there. And just on the other side of the road, Wharf Court, again another sign, so the wharf would have been in here somewhere. So back across now again to the new line. So this is the A350 just behind me. It's kind of, you've got Farmers roundabout and the Asda in Melksham, and it runs around to the other side of Melksham. There's a bit of a bypass. So the new line's going to come through this flat land here, and then it's going to come across here and down towards the river. Now the River Avon, you can actually see it just there, curves around the, there's a little tree line there as well. But it's going in right up close to the bridge. So there's a couple of locks which are going to drop down in here. They're going to have pump back systems in them. So basically it's going to be pulling water from the Kennet Avon. I don't know what feeders there are on this, but will be coming from the Kennet Avon. So the idea is any water that goes through the lock is going to get pumped back up into the canal, and not still water really. So they're not taking water from the River Avon. So the channel is going to come down through here and straight down underneath this pylon down to the river. I'll get back when we're over there. So the towpath's going to be on this side, and the canal will be over just sort of here. We'll be in the canal now, and there's going to be a weir just on that side there. They're currently doing water level tests and environmental assessments and stuff with the EA. It's been going on for quite a while, but the plan is that once all that's passed, they can start getting the funding for this section of canal. Now this all floods quite a lot. On the other side is going to be a massive reed bed, an area just to kind of cancel out the negative effects of the canal. But there will be lots of plant and lots of other stuff going on, which will sort of enhance the area and create more environment than what it takes away. Most of this is agricultural land up through here. There you go, here's the river now, and you can see Chalymead Bridge just up in the gap just there. You'll probably hear the vehicles as well. I'm not too sure where the monitoring equipment is, but it's in here somewhere. And that's giving river level data back to the EA constantly. So over here is kind of where the boats are going to come through. So the canal's going to drop just in on this other side here, run under, and this is all going to be dredged and stuff. There's going to be a waterfall put just through there, it's like a small weir with fish passes and stuff like that, and then that's going to run through here. I would imagine the water's going to be raised slightly and then go through Melksham town centre, and then the next stop will be the weir. So here we are. I think this is called King George Park in Melksham, and this is where the river carries on from where we were. So here's the weir. I'm not sure if it's going to be offset here. There needs to be a lock coming up to take you up to the sort of the height of the river above. And just over on that side, you've got Avon Tyres. Now Avon Tyres is officially closing down. It has been for about a year. So the thought I've been thinking is they've got the canal coming up here. They've got this massive site and it's huge, absolutely huge. What a fantastic area to put a marina in, put a, bars, restaurants, the lot, cafes, shops, the whole lot around a marina, huge marina in there. It could generate money for the trust, for the council, for the developer, whoever builds it, and add a massive facility for the town. Knowing Wiltshire Council, it's going to be houses, it always is, but there is so much potential. Apartments could go above those bars and restaurants and shops and whatever as well, and apartments to the back of them, so you could certainly get enough people in there to pay for it as well. But the canals are then going to come out just up here. It's going to come across, and then it goes across the fields towards the old line, where I'll go up to now, and we can see sort of the last few remains of the canal. So just across the other side of the park now, we're back to the old line. So the old line would have ran through the gap there by was quite a new looking house there, through there and across towards the wharf. So this would have been the road across here, as kind of is now. There's a couple of roundabouts here, it's more of a modern example of it. That's Sandridge Road, and that's coming from the town. But here is one of the few remaining parts of the canal. So this is the old bridge, and you can still see, if you look down in here, you can still see the old arch of the bridge there. So the wall still exists. The other side would have been sort of over there somewhere. But that is about it. But we do get into parts of the line now, just a bit further down here, which will finish up this video. So I'll hop over and we're into the old line. So this is actually it here. Again, not much of it exists. It's just a bit of a footpath really. So this would have been the old towpath, and the canal would have run just sort of down in this gap here where you can see it's a little bit overgrown. I'm not going to follow this, as you can see it's pretty overgrown. But this then ran across towards Laycock in that direction, not far to Laycock from there, and the new line is going to come across and come up in a series of locks, 3 locks I believe it is. There was 1 lock just further down here which won't be replaced, and a further 3 which will take the line up across there and bring it in from the river heights. So as you can probably see by what I've shown you on this, it's going to be very, very, very difficult to do anything through the town. So this new route through is kind of needed. Now, it's quite an undertaking. It's going to be very expensive to do. The trust will be doing funding it. Parts of it will be paid for by house building. Again, it's one of those things. House building's happening. They may as well get the route while they're getting those houses in. So they are going to need support, and the best way you can do this is to become a member. Now, it's not expensive to become a member, but what you do when you become a member, the more members that a canal trust have, the more power they've got when they go for funding. So although you're only paying a very small amount, it plays a big part in a canal restoration. So please do follow the link in the description and sign up. But that's me done for this one. Have a great day.